We'll get started. I don't know if you guys have met Peyton or not. I know that I've stood up here a few times. I'm quite a bit less nervous today, which is nice because it feels a little bit more like a casual setting. So hopefully that's a good thing. But brought Peyton today. She is one of my content experts. Her full-time job is our production manager, so she handles all of our video production and creates content for people's social media pages. But she's also a social media whiz. It's not what she does for us, day to day within the company, but she's excellent at it. So good news is somebody much smarter than myself is here today, and we'll get to hear from Peyton. But also we want this to be a workshop type setting. So we really want conversation and participation, and we've got a little bit of a deck to kind of guide it. But we want to literally have our phones out and take action on some of the stuff that we're talking about, because we're going to go through some simple stuff like how to organize our social pages, how to optimize them, some tips and tricks in terms of best practices, and hopefully some really good resources and some actionable insight that you guys can take, from today beyond. But because of the intention of wanting it to be a little bit more like a workshop setting, would love it if you guys can raise your hands and shout out questions, and literally let's look at our phones and our pages and do the stuff that we're talking about while we're working through it all. That sound like a good plan?
Yeah.
So I'm going to force the participation.
Also, too, I want to put out there's a portion of this where we're going to go pretty in depth with a few things. So how to create a reel, and we're going to dive into a little bit of those things. I'm going to go a little bit quick, but at the end of this, we're recording it. So if you miss something, we're going to send it out to the team. I'll send it to Angela, and she can give it to you guys too. Angela?
Is that the signal for next slide? Okay.
I'll come up with different ones each time. Keep it interesting. So yeah, like I said, I think it would be good to start with just purely creating reels. The importance of using trending audio, sharing stories, highlights, and how useful those are, utilizing different stickers on Instagram and Facebook, and then tagging versus collaborations, because those are two new features that Instagram has come out with. So I definitely want to share a few things with that. So these little things seem pretty minuscule, but they actually have a lot of benefit to them. So some of these are growing your followers at a faster rate because it's reaching a different part of the algorithm. Understanding your audience on a deeper level, increasing your brand awareness on social media, improving reach, quality of your content, leads, which is really important for real estate agents, and then increasing your engagement rate. So with Instagram and Facebook, these reels, they reach wider audiences, they are going to drive traffic, and then they're going to promote products, your properties, services, and stuff like that. Like it obviously says here, and there's a cute little puppy. It appears in dedicated sections where users can discover and engage with new content. So reels and photos and carousels, these all land in different algorithms on Instagram and reach different audiences. So when you post a photo on Instagram, that's just going to show up to just your followers, but reels are going to reach a different audience that's more communal. So if you tag the Durango location, it's going to reach a way wider audience. Reels are also going to increase your brand awareness just because they're a little bit more creative than just a photo or a carousel. And then increase your followers' engagement, and then it's going to organize a little bit more on your user's profile as well. So this is the part that's going to go a little bit quick, but I'm just going to show you, one, how to create a reel. Can you pause this really quick just for 2 seconds?
No, that's scared.
You might need to use the mouse on it.
Yep.
And what we'll probably do is we'll watch this whole thing, because this is going to kind of go through all of it, and then we'll actually do it and transition to kind of the hands-on workshop stuff. Does that work for everybody if we kind of watch the whole thing and then go through it step by step?
Yeah, these are the things I was going to talk about, like reels, trending audio, and all that fun stuff. So this is how to create a reel, if you want to start it. This is going to seem simple to some of you, but some people just don't know how to do it, so I wanted to break it down. So you're going to go to that add button, and then they have a bunch of options, and you're going to create reel. I just took a couple of videos, and you can select as many as you want, and then you're going to hit next. So now we have this up here. You're going to want to edit the video, so you can shorten videos, you can make them longer, and then I'll show you, you can add whatever music you want, and those ones up front are going to show you which ones are the most trending and slide it over and all that fun stuff. With trending audio, I'm definitely an old soul, love classic rock, all that stuff, but the audios that are working are new age music. So definitely try and prioritize those because those are what's going to reach those like bigger audiences in the algorithm as well. So yeah, just showing here, this is it sliding back and forth and all that fun stuff. Then you hit next, and it will open up a little bit of a thing where you can like adjust your audio to start it at a certain time, move it across, whatever. Crop up your photos, videos.
And don't stress because we will actually do this.
I know, and I know it seems fast. Or slow. But yeah, you'll be able to like adjust them, and it's always good to kind of line it up to the beat and the rhythm of the music. It makes it just a little bit easier for people to consume too. So that's just what we're doing here. You can change a lot of different stuff, so you can like split up your stuff. You can change like the speed and like stuff on the video as well, which is really useful. Split it up, so if you have a video and you're trying to cut multiple things, you can split it up and move those around as well, reorder them. And then once that's done, you hit next. And this is where it gets interesting. So obviously you can set a cover photo. Cover photos are really awesome because you don't have to pick what's on here and what you're sliding over and stuff, but you can actually put stuff that's from your camera roll. So you can make like fun graphics and stuff to put over your videos on Instagram as well. And you can adjust them around and move them and all that fun stuff too to make it a little bit more organized and clean on your page. So that's what we're doing here, moving it around.
And you shot this on your phone.
I did. Yeah, this is just a screen recording on my phone. Then I want to dive into tagging people. So we can either tag someone who's in the video or we can invite collaborators. So the difference between this right now is inviting collaborators shows up on two different feeds. So let's say I post this video, and I can either tag Wells Group or I can invite them as a collaborator. This would show up on my feed, and it would also show up on the profile of Wells Group. So there's a lot of opportunity here with real estate agents. If you guys have a listing or something and you make a reel for it, you can add it as a collaborator with Wells Group, and then it shows up on their page reaching their audience, and then it would show up on your page reaching your audience. So it's just going to expand it and reach more people than you would just tagging them.
Do they have to accept?
Yes.
Yep, there's an invitation that's sent to you, and you'll just see that in your DM. Another way to optimize it is there's a bunch of categories now with Instagram. You just pick different topics. So with real estate, you could pick landmarks, tourist attractions, water activities, outdoors. Like you can just pick depending on what your reel's about. Again, that's going to reach to a new audience that has interest in those, and this is all organic. And then obviously I would definitely set your location kind of where your property is, where you're selling, stuff like that too, and that just helps again optimize it and reach those audiences you want to target. So then when we share it, it'll come up. This is the invitation that was sent from Ascent. So we posted it, and then you can review the request, review it there, and then you basically accept it, and it's showing up on Ascent Digital's page and now my page. So now it's there. And then now it's there on Ascent. And then I wanted to talk about sharing it to your story. So this is how you're going to share it to your story. And this is going to be more important than just sharing it just on your feed. Sharing it to stories is a lot more, I don't know which word I'm trying to use for this, is a lot more efficient because people like to just scroll and stuff and like tap through stories a lot easier. And it's just, it shows up on a story for 24 hours. So people are easily like just tapping through, and it's just another way to touch them in the funnel.
And real quick, do you want to pause that real quick just about stories? So most of the content that is consumed on Instagram now is through stories. So if you just post, every time you post a reel, best practices would be no matter what, that you share it to your story. And I would get in the habit too of sharing other reels to your story as well, especially relevant ones. Like when Angela makes reels for the Wells Group, or some of your referral partners create a reel or something like that, it's a great way to build some good rapport with professional relationships in the space. And it's also where you're going to get the most engagement, and the most content being consumed is through the stories section. And then what will end up happening is, as you start to get some engagement in stories, it pumps the algorithm.
Yep.
And Instagram says, okay, people are liking this reel. Now I'm going to present it as suggested content for people that don't follow us. So it's a great way to have, like, for example, I have a podcast that's like enormous. I have 150 Instagram followers. So it's like I'm pretty much Joe Rogan. But I shared a reel with one of my guests 2 days ago, and I invited him as a collaborator. And the reel has over 2,000 views with my little tiny audience of 150. So it's just a cool illustration of how when you collaborate with people, because the whole idea, the way I would encourage you to think about this stuff would be much like how you network in real life, in person, is that what you're trying to do is create overlapping spheres of influence and add value for the people that you network with. So when you can do that virtually through here by tagging people, inviting people as collaborators, or as sharing other people's reels to your story. So just wanted to add that's where most of the content will be consumed, no matter what is on stories.
Yeah, the more content you're pumping out, the more Instagram's going to favor it. So when in doubt,
Put it out.
put it out. So here, can you back up like 5 seconds? There? Yeah, maybe a little bit more. Thank you. So there's a lot of features that go with stories as well. So here I'm just resizing it. There is a great sticker option, and that's going to be that little smiley face. I would always recommend using links. Links are really important. I use it personally for my own company too. I sell candles, and I'm able to just link directly to my website. Those are super useful. In your guys' sense, I think it would be really important to link to a property. And you can do that by adding a link, and that you can check see preview, and it'll show up as your property. If you go back, you can also customize the sticker so it doesn't have to say the URL. You can see like view property here, or any other CTA you want to put in there.
CTA means call to action.
Call to action. And you can throw that on your story, so it's just another little thing to get people to where you want them to go. Stickers are awesome. Cool.
Do we feel confident on reels? Moving on to highlights, because we've got 15
Before you
minutes.
start, yeah. Highlights are sweet. I like to describe them like as pages for a website, but kind of for your Instagram page. So on Ascent Digital, like we have shoots, tips, blogs, and then our dream team. So whenever we post a story about a behind the scenes video of us on a shoot, like we'll throw it in here so that when people click on it, people will see all of our behind the scenes. And it's like kind of like a collage of all of it. We do a lot of like tip videos and stuff too. Great spot to just be able to organize all this content in one spot. And users can just drop right onto your profile and then go straight to something that they find useful.
I'm going to practice what
So
I
I will
preach.
show you guys
and
how
get some
to
content
do
of
a
people.
highlight and how to create those as well, Angela. So you click on that new, and all of your archive stories will show up. And you can go and just click whatever ones you want to do. So we have like a bunch of like behind the scenes photos from shoots. And I'm just clicking all of them and going through it. And then our team, we can click all of those. And this is all just putting a bank of past archive stories onto one. You can then highlight, you can name your highlight into something. So right here, I'm just naming it our team, because it's a bunch of stories of our team working and behind the scenes type stuff. Then you can go and pick what you want your cover photo to be, either based on the story that you already have in there, or you can create a cover photo from your photo roll. So if you have a special photo or graphic that you want to put on there too, you can. So here's all of our behind the scenes and kind of like team stuff. So that'll all just sit on one thing. I found this really useful, especially for clients that have an event or something like that, being able to show like all the events you went through, being able to drive them to a certain spot. I think that's pretty helpful too. And you can set right at the beginning, your first highlight has a link on it. That's always been useful for me too.
Can I share a quick anecdote on authenticity because it was relevant and funny? The clip right before this, we were out at Kia Grande. They're a client of ours. And Chase, you'll see it right. And
It's not gonna play it.
if anybody's interested, you're welcome to check out our page. But they were filming Chase like petting a horse, and then you see in the clip he kind of takes a step back. So the horse was drinking out of what he thought was a little puddle, and Chase takes a step back, and it was a 7-foot deep hot spring, and he went in over his head instantly, and we were filming for the commercial, so we got it on video, and so we turned it into a reel. And we said, we go all in for our clients.
Yeah, we were
and
diving into market research or something.
yeah, we dive in. And so anyway, there's just, take advantage of what you've got. Like when something happens, there's always an opportunity.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it with all of that stuff.
For the presentation, at least. I think there's
Yeah.
another slide with.
Yeah. So some other tips I want to share with you guys. Post consistently. I know sometimes it's hard to post all day or like every single day of the week. Kind of a way to get around that is don't think about it every single day. Plan out your posts. Like for these next 5 days, I'm gonna post this photo, this photo, this photo, and you can just throw it in your drafts or like make captions about it like during 1 hour session and space it out throughout the week so you're not doing it every day.
How do you schedule posts?
So you don't necessarily have to like schedule a post, but if you know what photos you have, like just know that you're using this photo and then write like on a Word document or in Google Drive or like text yourself like a bunch of different captions so it's easy just like that day, that photo, copy and paste the caption and then you'll be good. So just make it easier on yourself so you're not thinking about it every single day. Just think about it for an hour one day and then space it out between those 5 days of the week. Also, with posting all this time, you don't want it to go to waste, so you want to audit your performance. So on your profile, I can show this too, but you can definitely see statistics of like what works well. And if you don't want to make it that hard either way, you can see what photos and videos perform better. So like the video of Chase falling into a hot spring performed well because it was funny. But then like the photo of our team did well or something like that, like look back at what worked well and what didn't work well and try and emulate it moving forward. What got the most comments? What got the most likes? What got whatever, the most reshares? Like go back and look at all of your posts and see what did well.
How do you, you just like scroll back individually?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
There's
and
not
just go
another
see.
Statistical analysis page or anything.
Well, you can
There's both of
see.
them,
So
yeah.
go to your profile, and then click on the Reels tab.
I don't think I've done any.
So that one got 270 views. That one got 222, 175, and 129.
Okay. But there's generally like
And you're
a
gonna publish that
consistency
draft.
of like what
You
reels are
promised
doing
me.
better than others for sure. Also with Wells Group, I know you guys have like brand guidelines and stuff, or if you in your personal brand have guidelines, so if you use certain fonts or you use like the green and gold and white or something, like if you're creating graphics, stick to those because we want to stay consistent because that's going to make it look a lot more professional as well. And like I said, scheduling your content in advance. This sounds complicated, but like I said, like if you just have 5 photos that you like know you're gonna post, just make sure you like set those aside or like mark them or like them like in your camera roll or whatever and draft them out or just write 5 captions that you can put to those photos, text them to yourself and then just copy and paste it later. So think about it only for an hour one day instead of making it a daily routine. Just make it easy on yourself.
Tips on how to shoot videos. Like I feel like that's the other thing is like holding the camera the correct way and like
Yeah,
I
for
feel like
sure.
my videos I'm like, well that looks like my kid shot that.
Yeah, right. There's a few different ones. You don't want to have all of the same thing, like the same pan, like over and over and over. But like in a real estate lens, like if you're going through a house or something, it's always fun to do like keeping it like chest height and going slowly like down a hallway or like opening up into a bedroom or something. Then you can do a pan like that. There's always a fun one too where you can like look down at your feet and reveal like a house or something too. You could do fun stuff like that. Always shoot vertical. Don't really shoot horizontal. It limits you on social media, and if you're not posting vertical, it's not going to push on the algorithm as well either. I think that's about it. I definitely would say like just change it up though, so not every video you're like doing the same thing and panning like on every single video. It's not as like engaging.
And just get a little bit of movement. Like just now when I was filming Peyton up here, I just kind of like rock a little. I don't know. It's just like a little bit of movement in the video makes it feel a little bit more engaging.
Like a slow walk forward or a slow walk back.
Yeah.
Always works. Do you want to go back one slide for me, Angela? I just want to show just a few case studies where we have implemented some of these things with past clients that we have worked with. With a specific account, as far as brand awareness goes, this goes for views over the span of 5 weeks. So with one account, this one had about like 800 views to start, and we just stuck with this same consistent pattern, and we were reaching to over like an average of 65,000 views. I'm not promising this on your guys' accounts, but I'm just showing you a few case studies where like we implemented these and stayed consistent, because they definitely do have an effect. With one account, we've seen an account started with 700 followers, and it's up to 15,000 followers right now because we stayed consistent through it too. Also, the importance of using either a static photo or a vertical video. Static photos, like I said, they don't reach necessarily a big audience, so you want to do those vertical videos. Started using these static photos, and then we switched over to vertical videos, and there definitely was a jump in impressions. So
shameless plug. If you want help,
No,
we do this.
no.
No, but seriously, but you also can like very much, hopefully this is helpful for you guys to do it yourself, but also we are really here to help if that's
yeah,
helpful.
this is just a show, like if you guys stay consistent with your stuff and you just stay creative and do some fun stuff, the results show.
So if you're just creating stuff on Instagram and sharing to Facebook, is that enough, or do you need different content for each platform?
That's a great question. So between Facebook and Instagram, generally the same content. TikTok, I know probably not a lot of you guys have TikTok, but there's definitely different content you put out on TikTok rather than Instagram and Facebook. So TikTok will be more playful and entertaining and stuff like that, and a little bit more short form. But for you guys, I would probably start with Instagram and Facebook, which will generally be the same. Mhm. And don't be afraid of like long form videos too. Like there was a push for a while with short form videos in Reels and stuff, but like people still like watching long videos sometimes too. So don't be afraid of that. Mix it up.
What do you mean long? What do you
Like if you're doing like a house tour or something and it's like a minute long, I would not go over probably like 2 minutes. But if you guys are like, oh shoot, I can only create like a 10-second or 15-second video, like don't feel restricted too much by it. Just mix it up. Yeah.
Yeah, a minute is long.
Yeah. Definitely mix it up though. Yeah.
How did you do a reel with multiple videos?
I can show you.
Like that.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
you. So,
I just want everyone to know Nicole's asking me to open up her water bottle for her, so
way too tight last night, and I've had to fill
I
it
think
up
she
and
likes
down,
me.
but-
Oh, okay.
and see the little like dots you can like.
Is she planning me?
That's, I think so.
Any other video?
Happy to help.
Yeah.
So it can't be when I go into the video. Got it.
Yep,
Okay,
yep, yep.
perfect. Thank you.
And then I want to show you, so like just pick a couple random ones and then hit next. See how these all pop up now? Those are your trending audios right now. They're
Okay.
obviously all Christmas
Oh,
ones
now
because
it's
that's
not
what's
bouncing.
trending.
That's great.
Yeah. So then hit next again. Let's just take that song for example. And then edit.
Does anyone else have questions? Was this helpful?
This is
Yeah.
what.
Okay.
we can,
Where I can
Yep.
modify them all.
Yep.
And
Yep. Yep.
then-
Trying very hard to like actually be helpful, so I hope that it
where
was.
I can add,
I'm
like-
learning a lot, I just need to.
So, oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Are there any others other than these, like
Yeah.
covering my kids' faces?
And it's uncomfortable.
Anything you
Like
want,
it
literally
is what
you
it
could
is,
look
you
up,
know.
like,
But you start, you get a little
Christmas
more
wreath,
comfortable with
or, like,
it. You'll
Christmas
get into a
ball, and there will
rhythm.
be a- Yep. And just search those up.
Being like this cover.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Very much wasn't from my company, but her stuff is so cringy, and I'm like, please don't be that.
Yeah.
And if we went too, yeah, if we
Right.
went too quick and stuff, we just recorded this whole thing. So if you guys have more questions or whatever, we're gonna give it to Angela so we can. send it off to y'all.
And we genuinely want to help. So I did the shameless plug, like seriously but jokingly, but very sincerely. If there's questions that happen after this, send us a note. We want to help.